see me, feel me, touch me.
Your life being lived in this moment, this time of now, in the and how of love, babies, as we come back. Flying in like the sweet white dove that we are, man. Innocent as can be. And happy and contented in that innocence, don't you see? Now out there somewhere in the wilds of Albuquerque, there roams a young gentleman, a heart grievously taken advantage of, beat to a pulp, knocked right down into the ground, but just like the spirit saint that he is, coming back around, see? So are you and so are me, man. We've all been in some pretty lonely places. We've all been in places where it's so dark we didn't think we'd ever see the light anymore. Every one of us walked that long, lonesome valley through that shadow of death and brought ourselves back to life again and again and again. And this same white buffalo roaming those plains, those harsh plains of Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that vicinity there, coming back because you're there. In that white buffalo, the pure heart of unity, the unified love that does not know defeat, that knows the sacrifice, yes, but sees beyond that, 'cause in the sacrifice doing its best as the lonely heart that it are, to bring us all back together again. So it'll take a beating and it'll put up with some cheating in this reality. Make itself victimized for the totality of love that arises out of that. You see, when you take it all in, that's where you begin. When the suffering come to you and suffer on you some more, you take it in. You transform through the love of your sweetheart into the reality of the light. Babies, this is the walk through the night into the great daylight. This is where we've been, but we ain't going there again, man. Enough, I would say, 'cause we've given all along the way, again and again and again. Each person sacrificed to the maximum extreme that there could be in this unloving, cold-hearted 3D. Or at least that's what it seemed to be, eh? But then we start to wake up. Sometimes in the darkest of places arises the brightest of faces. Sometimes when we're most alone is when we start to feel the unity, the love that brings us back to life. Just like walking that edge of death. Every time, it gives you another appreciation for the breath that you take, for the love that you're willing to, share here. Never fake. Always the real thing. And not everybody's ready for the real deal, or at least not just yet, it doesn't seem, right? But in the presence of this divine dream, we take it in. We'll sacrifice ourselves again and again so others might get to walking and then flying and knowing they're living, not dying. 'Cause see, we understand many have been blasted so far past it that it never seems like it'll happen again. That the heart has gone away and there's only harsh cruelty here at play. The separation, the aloneness, the away from the mother love. Yet we live in the arms, the bosom of our mother, this Mother Earth. She embraces every life that lives here and nurses it through its difficult times, the same as she does the bright times, celebrating right along with you, man. Inside of you, the steadiest love there could ever be. All of us, don't you see, gathered in unity. In our alone moment, in our worst moment, in our forgetfulness, our letting go of the past because it's just too painful to face. We find the warm embrace of love, and we're able to embrace that pain and transform it once again. Because we know we're not alone. We've taken it in. So the others might come climbing in. And climbing out too, babies. We are the real life of love living. An example of what the Well, simple heart can be. The white dove flying. And here we are, not even trying. And it comes to us. And it hurts us. And knocks us down, but it brings us around. So we've all taken a little speck, and we've done our best with it. Now we find the time to unwind, to come back home. Home to where the peaceful feelings exist, where there's unity in all hearts, and no one is alone, and all are gathered in the freedom of love, the freedom to be what we will be, given from the innocent heart of the dove. Now if you misunderstand, and you don't quite see, just feel in this moment what you might be, what you truthfully are, and don't kid yourself no more. See how much you care, how desperate and alone you have felt in that caring, how frustrated it's been because you couldn't show much of it. They'd knock you right down again. But they'd bring you right back up too. You're a stubborn little critter in the heart. You know the living work of art of the divine dream within, and you ain't given up on that scheme. 'Cause it's time now to fulfill that dream, to finish our journey through time, to watch as this whole 3D does unwind right before our very eyes. The same way that wise old white buffalo down there roaming around Albuquerque began to see and remember and be. We're never alone. We're always together with those we love, which is everyone. That's the heart of the dove, flying high above, unified, empowered by the creation below and around it too, man. There is no end to the beginning we begin when we find what we find within. This is our life. This is our love in motion, and whatever form it's taken, it's just another wave on the ocean, and our way of dealing with it, and unreeling the bullshit right out of it, coming down to the basic elements of love in every bit of it. And no one is alone, and no one will feel that empty, deep hunger again. We let go of the pain when we embrace it, when we love ourselves for our willingness to endure that particular aspect of this illusion, the numbing pain, in which we begin to appreciate feeling again. And in that feeling, the whole thing come unreal and undone right here in the shining sun, as we realize that each of us and all of us are the one meant to awaken everyone, the one meant to awaken inside our soft, sweet little hide. And that's why we've taken such a rough-assed old ride. We are not alone. We are gathered with it all, and all of it lives within us, and our response to it is where we begin. Whatever that has been, it isn't that way no more, because we understand the love. We embrace it. We be that love. We are that love in motion. And there's only one emotion then, one feeling. That's the love life has for itself creating. The feeling we try to replicate in all of our moment of love, as well as the difficult times with pain. The feeling we are trying to inhabit once again. And in our trying, in that struggle, oh my goodness, took ourselves so far away, we thought death would be the better way. Realizing the love on the other side, well, that's where we want to ride. Only when we got there, we found we couldn't stay. We had to come back to play another day. Why? Because you bring that love with you. That all-inclusive, everlasting, in every moment there ever is kind of love. The love that unites all the tribes and nations of humanity and creation with us, too. All of it. We're seeing it through. It's the last little bit of our dark journey in love that we've called time. It's time we let our heart unwind. So sit down on this here park bench and relax your old bones and realize you're not alone. That you're here to fly real high along with that innocent dove and to be that innocent dove love in all that is. That you're here to free the prisoners from the priz. And the divine warden too, man. Let it all go. The illusions that go with it. The bars, the grim walls, the cruel guards, etc. All an illusion. Something we created to contain ourselves in for a while. So we might know something other than love. Yet it's all love. Even in our imprisonment, the sweet dove has always been there. Flying high in the air, yet connected, and we are free. Even when imprisoned, we may be. You can walk through walls, you can do anything you need to do in this life when you're in love with it. When you're in love with every moment of it and all that's dished out to you and all that you dish right back, babies. This is the love attack that you've been waiting for. The end of an evening in hell. The arrival then of what? The sweet paradise that makes us feel so nice, so right, so united in this heart that none can feel separate anymore. Love is given because love is what we're living and love is what we're made of. The sweetheart of that love dove, baby. And it's living in you. Look at how you love to be wicked if nothing else too. See, love is in everything. It's behind every motivation, even the most sick ones, the most warped ones. There is love in that, for it's living life, and life is made of love, and love is light, and lightness pretty much eliminates the darkness. It allows a certain amount of shadowy contrast, and that's where we get that big old blast, is in that contrast. But see, that gives a feeling to our rooted nature. That gives us a deepening, a ripening, a richness in our appreciation to move through the strife and end that kind of life right now, because we realize we're living, not dead. See, for some, that'll drive them out of their head and right back into the heart, which is where we all need to be, for in the heart is the conscious presence of the true reality. The cosmic beings that we are, creating our experience on this grand stage of life and loving our way through every moment of it, nurturing, healing the deepest wounds. And some of us, wow, take on the worst of it so we can find the best of it. And then everyone else gathered in there too. See, you're never alone. You're always working within that cosmic heart, creating the loving moments that we release ourselves from and walk ourselves through at the same time, see? We are free to be whatever we choose. This is your life and you cannot ever lose. From every moment, from every experience, you're gaining ground. And your heart, it is there to be found in all of these moments. So we're not so much of a clown, though we pull a joke on ourselves all the time. Coyote medicine through and through. The odd backward nature of it too. Which brings us what? Forward in life. Away from the prison of pain, away from the prison of alone. Because we know creation now lives within us and in our experience. And we have appointed ourselves so, to live this role, to be what we are, because it serves the greater whole of all of us. And that sweet, innocent heart of the white dove flying above, and the white buffalo down below, coming back to life in Albuquerque, don't you know? Because we're there to support them, bring them back in, not let anyone stay in their little prison, see? The injury, nothing now. It's done, it's over. And there was none really. For you cannot injure a pure life, and you cannot hurt those that love. At all. And we've proven that to ourselves again and again. As we went through it all, he says with a grin, and laughing a bit too because it's so sardonic, but so beautifully so. The poetry, the symmetry, the amazing synchronicity we begin to see. And from the dark moments, our eyes awaken and arise and show us what the heart already knows within us, what it's already created for us. And we learn to relax, settle back, and not try to scheme and plan our way through anymore, but just be who we are. Let the heart even the score, for it's all in equity there anyway. And we begin to realize that as the sun rises inside on this magic day, this magnificent Monday, even on strange places like this little Coyote medicine show, here on this great big giant-hearted hazy radio network, don't you know, with Grandpa Coyote, Obi-Wan Kenobi, a whole raft of other angels too, the likes of which remind me of you, 'cause you're one of them too. Everyone is. No matter the role, again I say, babies, be the love in motion. You'll find your heart at play, and you won't ever feel that pain again. It's through. And what is that pain anyway? What has made you feel so blue? And darlings, it's that feeling of separation. That dark place where there is no love, no loving connection with your mother, your earth, your fellow human beings, and which are all children of this earth, and children of the stars too, including me and you, and that white buffalo too, and his young lady who awaits in the high places for the recovery that seems to never want to come. Yet here it is today, driven along like the snow by the wind, and the sunshine that comes behind it and melts it all down again. And the winter becomes spring, becomes summer, and then the fall, the harvest, the time of our ripening into our ever-present being that we always are. And winter comes no more, and we're no longer frozen as the snow. We're thawed out now, don't you know, feeling the love in the flow, the life inside. Everything that takes this ride we call living. Everyone that lives in this 3D, moving quite rapidly beyond it, don't you see, absorbing the aspects of time, so it will no longer be. Living in love beyond this city, somewhere out beyond that horizon, out beyond those neon lights. I know there's something better. It lives inside of me right now while we take flight. That's right. Take flight. Light, love, harmony in all that is given. And this is what we're beginning to realize as we release ourselves from the prison of pain and find the great game there within. White buffalo, don't you know? You remember it all now, but in a way of truth, and no longer in that state of denial where life is such a great trial or a tribulation, no, nor an abomination, no, but a simple experience in the proving of the durability of the heart, the gathering together in your heart of all that might practice that dark heart, that they might see the light, the love they have and are made of, in the heart of that sweet white dove that flies above. And so it is, and so it shall ever be. All experience given from the innocent heart of the one love in all. The Mother, the Father, united in one. And this is how it's begun. And all this old cruelty and absence and separation undone. Go with the flow, baby, rock with your roll. Be the heart that you are, the rising superstar.
See me, feel me, touch me.